The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Poetic beats.
When you see me, you can see it's California, California. When you see me, you can see it's California, California.
California beaches, California breezes, California bitches. Our California needs sun up, sun down, all smiles, no frowns. Cali life is like a circus, minus the clowns. I keep the top down, swag stays turning. There's so much heat, the week get burned. Every day is the right day. In Cali, I do it my way. Kush keep it highway. Sunset on Friday, promenade Saturday, Sunday to Beverly. Fuck the forecast. We know what the weather be. Post on the strip, showing off the weather. Real nigga love.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Toomer's Down. I'm your host, Al Toomer. Welcome back on this rainy-ass day out here in Los Angeles. I can't stand the rain, man. I really hate it. The rain ain't good for a motherfucking thing, but fucking. Other than that, you know, I can't use the rain. Everybody want to talk about the rain. It clears the air. It's water and props. I hate fucking rain. I can't stand it. I can deal with snow better. You know, snow is... You can deal with that type of shit. Make snowballs and throw it, motherfuckers, that type of shit. You can't do a goddamn thing with rain at all, but get the fuck wet.
Does it make your skin burn?
No, it doesn't. In fact, it would be better if it was warm goddamn rain.
Like
you
the
know,
Wicked
cold
Witch? The mean nigga of the West?
So we gonna get started here. Like I say, pull it from now because people get mad at me to come in the chat. It might not be but 4 or 5 motherfuckers, but anybody pop up in the chat room, let me know what they saying, and you know I'll respond to them. And y'all call in tonight. We're gonna be discussing the multifarious of controversial topics tonight that I'm sure you enjoy. But call in, the number will be right down there shortly, 323-293-3375. So. I'm going to get it started by introducing, this panel here, man, it's like I know I'm going to have fun. I need more than hours that I've been talking to these two guys. Man, here to my immediate left is Mr. Mike Robertson from Robertson Boulevard.
Yes,
right
sir.
here in the
Yes,
same
sir.
studio,
Yes,
Morris
sir.
Media. How you doing? We got down
Cool,
last
man.
night on your show.
I know, long time no see, man.
Yeah, right back at you.
Just seem the same. I felt like it was Tuesday all the time I was driving here. I was like, where can I go get some tacos?
Oh, man.
But it is Wednesday. Taco Wednesday.
Well, yeah, we did the plays last night, man. Tell everybody about that. Paul, you've been down over there at the Regency West. They Taco Tuesdays is just, it's off the chain.
That shit was caraca-lacking.
I don't know. I didn't ask who the DJ was.
Yeah, I don't know. That shit they have like every week. All those cars that be out there.
Yeah, the old Regency West. Man. Like, man, that's just like, damn. You got to go up there.
That shit was cracking.
I'll go up there and see what's going on, man. We spend so much time up in that damn club right there.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, man. It's like, I can't even see them having Taco Tuesday there. But I'm pretty sure if it's successful, hey.
All right, let me tell you, I ain't see no tacos while I was in that motherfucker.
We didn't look for tacos. We went to the bar and started looking at bros. I mean, I did. Mike's married, so I can't.
This nigga in there talking about trying to change it back to a comedy club. Like, nigga, we could just change this shit, nigga.
No, it ain't. You go talk to the motherfucker that's doing that. I mean, he wouldn't have a problem. They got a DJ like you. It'll be like an Apollo type thing, nigga. You liable to get booed, or you better be funny as a motherfucker going up in there because you interrupted what them niggas doing.
Yeah.
So you better be funny.
You best be funny. You best be funny.
And on the far left, my cousin who I thought this man was dead. Goddamn, I hadn't seen him in 10 years, and it's like, man, I went home for my mom's funeral. He called up here to find my number. I hadn't seen him, but that cat over there done taught me a whole lot about life, how to do goddamn shit. every goddamn thing, and has his own strong opinion on everything. So y'all gonna enjoy him. Welcome my cousin J. Speed Fournette.
J. Speed in the house, J. Speed in the house, and I've been doing this for a long time, man. And just like I say, you know, me and Al go way back in the 90s, you know, when a lot of these brothers who call themselves comedians was not even aware what he was trying to do back in the day. He was like 30 years before his time, and they just caught up even today. And I'm talking about the number one comedians out there now, and all the way down to the number 10. But anyway, this brother right here he was a trooper way out in that time. Believe it or not, I was in the Nation at that time, and I used to do his security work, and really, you know, at the time, everybody thought Al was in the Nation because when he had in trouble or something, you know, 3 or 4 brothers with myself would show up. So, you know, we go back long ways back. I mean, I brought this brother into my own home and showed him how to build computers back in the 90s when most people didn't even have a computer.
Yeah, I remember them days. Yeah, those was way ahead of our time, man. So it's good to have you here, man, and Mike, and we're going to chop it up here like 3 brothers.
Let's do it.
And talk about, you know, shit that everybody else is talking about. Let's start out with the Kaepernick thing. He recently settled with the NFL, and that's a good thing. But there are people who are saying that, you know, maybe he sold out to the cause or he did what he had to do. I don't. Either way,
okay,
as far as I'm concerned, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, he didn't sell out.
Right.
So let's not say that shit. That's what he did not do. What he did was brought a fucking case against the motherfuckers for wrongful termination and collusion across the league. So he brought a case against them. He did an aggressive move. He did something that you have the power and the right to do in this country when you get misused by your job. So he did that, right?
Yeah.
Also, he got a gang of dough, which I'm very happy for him because he was going to make that much money. That's the argument he said, but he wasn't going to do it without getting hit and getting laid out and getting bones broken and getting concussions and all that. So he got that dough, right?
Yeah.
The question I have now is it cool now just to go back to just start watching again? Like, because a lot of motherfuckers are dedicated to...
It's going to be, if he comes back, that's where the sellout part comes in as, bro, you did this shit. And then I'm going to get your opinion, Jay. We're going to go back to this. You did this shit. Man, you can't just come through here and goddamn fucking collect no money for these motherfuckers and shut the fuck up on some shit and then go back out there and play. And
is he going to get to play?
Yeah, somebody getting ready to sign him.
Oh, I thought he couldn't play.
I guarantee you be on hell no.
I thought he couldn't play.
That's the thing about it. The deal is confidential. They can't say anything about it on either side. So if the only thing they probably gave him is the money he would have made the 2 years playing football. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up and somebody will sign you.
But look, isn't it the ultimate come up though to come up on the dope and get to play still
what
too?
I'm saying.
That's
ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Let me ask you 2 brothers this then. This man was able to do something that the number 1 quarterback in the NFL was not able to do. Is bring the NFL down to their knees.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
So Tom Brady was not able to do that, and he's the number 1 quarterback probably in the last 10 years.
Exactly.
And so what I'm trying to say is we try to take it further into the picture and see exactly what's going on. Now, this brother took his own personal money and started organizations, and he gave millions of dollars that he was not even collecting from the NFL to different organizations. So I don't have no grums because you got to understand me. I'm a different type of African. I'm a type of African, don't celebrate our defeat. I'm one of the rebellious ones. And I've always been that way. I was with a brother who gives personal security to Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And this brother right here know it. And I'm not just speaking of them, I'm not name dropping, but I'm just saying my capabilities. I've always been able to look behind the picture and see exactly what's going on because you said this way back in 1990. You said life is just like a chess game. And so if you understand the chess game, and I appreciate that, your analogy of that, because one thing is, because I don't care how smart and how intelligent you are, someone can bring something to you that you never even thought about in that way. Now, I have never learned how to play the game of chess because I learned how to play the natural game, the reality game of life, and it's the same image of mirror of chess. But you brought that to my attention, and I've always used that as an analogy. So as us, as black people, what we got to understand especially in this country right here. Everything that we do in this country, they keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
And it's not like the NFL. They just keep moving the goalposts. Yeah. So when you get to a certain position in this society, you got to understand is when you come to beat them or defeat them, they're going to move the goalposts. So I'm just glad the brother was able to bring the NFL to their knees.
Yeah, he did that. And just personally, since I'm a dark-skinned black brother, I mean, you call me a hater or whatever, anybody out there, I'm tired of one of these motherfuckers coming through. They make this motherfucker like a Jesus Christ, bro, for some shit. And the thing about it is, if the shit what he was kneeling for, because I got information now, you look at Marcellus Wiley the other day when they said that motherfucker first was initially kneeling, it had something to do with them not re-signing him. You understand? And when they asked him a question, it's like, well, I ain't got them standing for the injustices of black men being shot in the street. Has that shit stopped? Has it changed? Nah. So it's always a motherfucker in between, man, that can goddamn fucking, and I'm just going to be a bitter, jet black tar baby ass nigga tonight, man. It's always a motherfucker in between that'll come in and put their spin on something and come up. All right, what are you going to do?
Okay, so first of all, let's just be honest. He was not trying to start a fucking thing like
I don't believe he was either. That shit was accidental.
He was doing it on his own, within his own mind. Like, he said he had done this shit hundreds of times before. Like, dude, I just don't fucking say the national anthem. Me, myself, Mike Robertson, I don't say no fucking national anthem. I don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. When niggas all do it and they put their hand over their heart, I don't. I keep my hands to the side, man. I'm that type nigga. So if I got in the NFL, it would look like I'm flexing my shit in the NFL on some new shit when that's just my get down. So when he got on the knee, it wasn't until fans started seeing him do it, and fans started making noise.
Fans didn't give a fuck. It was goddamn the media that focused on that.
Well, you could call it media, social media, whatever. It was starting social media where they focused on, like, why is he doing that? And making fun of it and making jokes of it, and this shit turned into something. So,
Mike, what I'm telling you is, Marshawn Lynch, that played with the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm agreeing with you.
Marshawn Lynch was doing this shit his whole career. He never stood.
Yeah.
He never knew.
He said, I never stood.
They didn't go ask him about nothing.
Right.
So you go ask this motherfucker about this. Huh?
They didn't fire him unjustly either.
But you talking about Kaepernick?
They didn't fire
Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch didn't get fired.
They didn't fire him. And what people say,
they just took away his Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they got a call down from the station when you on the two yard line. You're on the 2-yard line. Think about this. Marshawn Lynch could carry half of the team on the other side.
And they had
the goal
two
line.
chances, too.
And
it was like first and
third
goal,
down.
bro.
And they got a call from downstairs.
That play was on
saying,
third down.
I don't care who wins this Super Bowl, but you cannot let this brother who's been talking smack all year long to the media win this game, because then he become a winner.
Yeah.
And so we don't even understand. Matter of fact, let me just be honest with you. I don't really get into the football thing. I really don't get into the Kaepernick thing, because every man his rite of passage has to make his own lane. That's why I don't get into these kind of things, because I believe as of all of us right here in America right now, all Africans or blacks or whatever you call yourself, that we are so much into celebrating our defeat. Everything we do in this country, celebrate. Even the young lady who is the producer and the director of this show, her father was a pioneer of radio. But even if you take that and put it under the microscope, whatever he did, ingenious the way he did it at the age of 14 years old, he was able to do things that big broadcasting radio station wasn't even doing.
Exactly.
That's why they paid attention to him. Mm-hmm. But even all the stuff that he was doing, it perpetuates white supremacy in this country. Yeah. And so what I'm trying to say is, even the things we do in this country, whatever we do, that's why I really don't talk about us in our own lane or what we're trying to do, because we all have to have our own journey. Mm. But what we got to understand, what we really got to understand, and we don't understand anything, and that's something I'm probably in about 10 minutes, I'm going to pass out a piece of paper for you brothers, and we're going to discuss some of the topics, because I think it's time for us to escalate our thoughts, our thought pattern. what we think about and what we talk about, not so much right here into the now. If we ain't thinking about 30 to 40 years from now, which some of us might not even be here, but our children will be here, and we ain't thinking into that capacity, we're going to always be that one thing, and it's called following. And that's when you're behind, you always following. So I'm going to pass out y'all a piece of paper so I won't catch either one of y'all by surprise. Because we used to do this way back in the night. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you a little short story. Okay, Al got a white man fired off a radio station way back in the 90s. We talked so bad to him on the radio station that he was fired from, what was that, 640? KFI. He was fired due to the fact he could not out-talk either one of us.
Yeah, so I remember that shit. We used to do crazy shit back then.
Man, me and Al used to get up at 6 in the morning and just call habit on the radio station.
Yeah, but getting back to this dude, man, it's like, well, what you said, well, he wasn't, Marshall Lynch wasn't fired. No, he wasn't. Colin Kaepernick wasn't either. He opted out of his goddamn contract.
Yeah, he elected.
So after you did that, you elected to not even sign the contract. Yeah. They could have cut
that tripped me out in the beginning. That tripped me out in the beginning, man. But at the end of the day, bro, he made a lot of noise about a cause. A lot of people paid attention to it.
That's the thing. That's just the thing. Was that really all it's about? Because too often my people don't get caught up in nothing, man, but symbolism and ceremonies and shit. Did it really change any goddamn thing, man?
That is all it was
nothing.
About. It was never going to change shit, man. That's the problem, bro. It wasn't going to change nothing, man. That's why you even put your effort to that shit?
So, like I said, hell, he did a wonderful job at what he did. And, you know, when I was going off of my tangent before, it's like, man, it's too many times I'm seeing people, motherfucker, that don't look like me, even black people that got them doing shit that, like for helpless goddamn people of color, and I hate that with a passion.
You remember you said they were trying to weed us out in 1990?
Yeah.
Right in my front room. You said that if you look at it, if it wasn't for Wesley Snipes, if it wasn't for Wesley Snipes laying pipe on the big screen, I mean, we took the Vanilla Brothers right out the box. Matter of fact, the Obama types didn't even come back. The Obama type didn't even come back till after he was elected.
Yeah, man.
So you know, I mean.
And then when you say that, if you sit up there as a jet black-ass nigga try to express yourself, a motherfucker gonna call you a coon or a sellout or something. It's like, motherfucker, y'all really don't understand where I'm coming from on it, you know. But shit, I'm gonna finally start doing it. Fuck what you think about it here. If black people, and there are too many varieties of black people to try to get them all in one big group and think it's one big mind. That's just not gonna happen.
Well, I love the way you said it.
Hell no.
I love the way you said it. You were so dark in your family. You were the darkest one in your family. They used to call you Little Red.
Yeah.
Because you was the lightest one in your family.
Yeah.
And so they called you Little Red. So, you know.
Mellow yellow.
Well, you must understand what they call me. They call me Little Whitey. You know, it took about 7 years for my daddy to decide that I was his child.
Yeah. He called you something else. You weird too goddamn light.
Thinking about calling me Little Whitey.
Little Whitey.
Anyway, man, we gonna keep it pushing. I can fuck with this Kaepernick shit all night long, but there's a lot of other subjects I want to talk about, and we're gonna try to get to yours. Now, this boy.
Okay, can I just say something before you move on about skin color?
Go ahead, Mr. Robertson.
I learned something interesting that in the country of Brazil, which is basically 80% black, which most people don't know. But the thing about it is, they have, I think they said 94 different classifications of race there. You know how we got like 5? It's like white, black, Hispanic, motherfucking Native American.
Yeah.
They got 90 different descriptions.
And not only that, Mike,
of
I bet
blackness.
You they got different languages too. It's probably 100 different languages amongst them.
Mike, is that more like the caste system? Do they like India? They have the caste system? Is it more just the complexion of the skin tone?
Well, there's crossover in the complexions. That's the whole difficulty of it, because it's like part of it is your origin, where you live, how you look, what your bloodline is. There's so much fucking diluted, basically. So basically, here's the thing. In a nutshell, they black. Right?
Yeah.
But motherfuckers don't want to just be black, man. They want to they want to say I'm black light or I'm brown black or I'm Creole.
Something to distinguish.
Or you know what I mean?
It's
Like
only
they want to be a
black
new,
when it's convenient to be black.
a new better black. You know what I mean?
It improved black.
Like you just black, homie.
So
black.
Is that why they went at so hard after Michael Jackson once he made They Don't Care About Us and he took it to Brazil? And he got all the dog brothers, and he got the brothers together and made them understand that regardless of what you call it, because you are correct. Outside of India, Brazil has the most African population outside of India. And so you're right about 80 to 90, 85 to 90%. But they don't classify. I mean, if you even think about our sisters here want the Brazilian butt. And that comes from the ships that started, in Brazil, and came up through the Atlantic and came through the Pacific and all the rest of them. Because people keep trying to say it's a transatlantic slave trade, which ain't no ocean had no goddamn really importance in slavery. It was the damn ships and the people who were going to get them. So, question I'm trying to ask you. Do you see a change in the way the Brazil treat African Americans, or they treat Africans, or people who classify themselves as black?
See, I think this, right? If you go there, and the same is with Panama, right? It's another good example where it's like 95% black. And them motherfuckers is black, like dark-skinned black. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The thing is this. I feel like they don't want to identify with American blacks because we kind of get looked down upon because of our privileges that we get, I think. And the truth of the matter is, man, I think that everyone envies the American black.
We are, dude. We really are. And the thing is, we need to start feeling it and displaying that to people. We right next to the most coldest goddamn cracker that's ever existed.
We gotta embrace everyone else. I think it's on us.
And if they embrace us,
no, true. They have not, right? But I'm saying if someone is gonna step it up, I think it's us to reach out to say man, we are the same. And I think a lot of people are starting to understand it as the knowledge gets out in the world that we are all the same. We got off the same fucking boats. You know what I mean? It wasn't
What about the one that was standing over that didn't get off no boat?
No, there's that too, right? But even them got off the same fucking boats.
Indians didn't get off no boats, man. That's another thing with light-skinned, dark-skinned, man. When you think of Indian, man, most people think of these red motherfuckers we seen in movies, man, with goddamn the majority of Indians over here, if not all of them, was blocking this motherfucking headset.
I know, but look,
the Seminoles put up the biggest war. But believe it or not,
the Seminoles?
For 3 decades. They had the strongest war against them. And what we really don't understand exactly what your point is, 90% of the Indians was never killed by gunpowder. You know what they was killed by? Diseases.
Yeah.
Diseases as exposing themselves to the Europeans who came here, who was a different species. But we have to break this down. If we believe that Lucy is the oldest woman on this planet, and all living humans come from her, then we got to understand that even white people are our children. They are their distant cousins, but they are our children. Yeah. And as you was raised when you was little, sometimes you had to put your children in check.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what we not been able to do. Where we become followers.
Children running the house.
We become followers of our children. But, just like any parents, when a parent go to sleep, a child can take over your household. But when you wake up, what cost they have to pay. And thing about it, we haven't waking up yet. But when we wake up, I don't think it just will come from the Americans, blacks, because American covers more than just USA. I think it will come from this new generation. You got people right now who are, 8 years old, have never seen anything but a black president.
Yeah.
Never seen anything. They never seen a white person. So they have a different perception. And that's why I embrace even this young generation, because They got something. Sometimes you have to strip us down to nothing, and we start over again. That's how you do. When you're making a painting and you make a mistake, well, there are certain times when you can go and you can clarify that mistake and you can make it better. But when you have resolved all of them till you can't just do it right, you have to start all back over with a different canvas. And I think that is our major problem, and that's something we're going to get into the last probably 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, well, I understand that too, man. And, man, you know me, how I feel about it. Brother, if I was a dictator or president of the United States, y'all think Trump? I guarantee you, if I was the president of this motherfucker, Al Toomer, me.
I already know what that country would be like. I already know. I mean, look, the conversation we had, I already know what that I mean, and believe it or not, here I'm a brother who was in the nation for 20 years, who's always been on the front line.
Well, you say was, like you're not in it no more?
Well, when I'm not a practice. When I say was, I'm not a practice. But once you join the nation, you are always a brother of the nation.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm not a practice. See, that's the difference. See, a lot of people say in all types of religion that they're this and they're that. But the next question you should ask, are you a practicing whatever religion? I'm not a practicing. I love their revolution. I love their revolution of the nation. I'm just not into the religions, but the only religion I'm into right now is holistic or religion. The oldest religion on this planet, and it comes from the African continent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there we are on that. We talk about religion, but I'm gonna get back. We're gonna get back to this real soon. Shit, y'all, like I say, I ain't got but an hour. Shit, I need like 3 hours, and I've been talking with both of y'all, so we go have to curtail a lot of this shit. I wanted it, and a lot of the shit I'm talking about, we'll be able to tie into some of these other things, like this boy, what's his name, Justin Smollett, the kid from Empire, who fabricated the story and said that it was a hate crime against him. Now they find like this motherfucker straight up lied about that.
What a fucking loser, man. Dude, that's like loser level supreme, man.
Can I be honest, my brother?
You just want to fucking like, dude, I want to be the way he framed it, I want to be a tough guy. These guys came after me, man, and they attacked me, and I fought them back, man. and listen, man, I'm a survivor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking survivor. This bitch ass nigga, man. Shut the fuck up 3 times, nigga.
He had more bruises on his asshole.
That's what I said.
Ever.
He had more bruises on his asshole than he would ever had in his face. You know what I mean?
That nigga look
for
like
two big old Kenyan, Nigerian
you got
brothers.
pictures back there, boy, them two black niggas.
Yeah, get the two brothers.
That's what I said last
Put them
night.
on the screen. Now, them brothers would hurt Arnold Schwarzenegger at his best day. So you gonna tell me 2 brothers that size?
Hey, it depends on what angle they hitting at. Nigga.
Just what I'm saying. He had more bruises on his asshole than he would ever have on his face. He had a little scar on his face right there, and he was saying how horrible the situation was.
That shit looked like a
I
caliber.
wanted they make him shave his beard off, but them 2 niggas, that man, I can tell you, they laid down and fucked that nigga ass like they fucking Beyonce.
Matter of fact, one of them
Double
was his trainer.
penetration.
Hey, Al,
GP, nigga.
Mr. Toomer, one of them was his trainer on. One of them was one of his trainers on. Now you know me. Before I started into doing comedy back in the 90s, I already had my SAG card. I was working on a radio station at 16 years old at WGIV, Charlotte, North Carolina. So when I came out here, I already had my after card. And so when I got into the movie industry, I had my SAG card. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of backstories with all this bullshit when it comes down to these people working in Hollywood. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't care who you love, who you like. If you are successful in Hollywood, you have did some shit. And that bring me back to Louis Dick, who say he lower his standard if he come on your show. But let me tell you something. How much standard did Louis Dick lose when Bill Cosby may have gave him some of them goddamn Quaaludes? What kind of standard did he lose then? I'm just saying, if Bill Cosby gave him some of them goddamn drugs, what was his standard then?
Bill,
that's how I had to ask.
He didn't fuck any of the bitches. He was drugging them for Louis. But Louis is a hideous looking fellow, so he drowned Dr. Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
He drug an ugly bitch.
I understand you might
Bill
be.
Cosby ain't got to drug nobody.
I know what you're saying. Like,
I understand you might be texting Louis Dick, take, but I'm just putting the question out there.
Like,
if the motherfucker gave, Louis Dick
Boys,
some
I got a friend at the gate. Let him in.
if he gave Bill Cosby gave Louis Dick some of them damn drugs, what was his standard then? That's a question I just want to ask. I ain't saying it happened, but I want to ask that question. What was his standard then?
I don't know.
Was he doing Jell-O pudding on the other side?
Steve is the dick. You did some shit, and you you opened an 8 months old wound. Motherfucker didn't like what you did, but you
most certain. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, motherfucker just walked out of here on this girl and sitting this motherfucking ass here and just walked out. Didn't say nothing to her. Didn't get them giving no reason for nothing. I mean, I can't stand. I have to deal enough with goddamn fucking with my real enemies, and everybody ain't white, but for the most part, we know who the real enemy is. I can't stand a fucking confused ass nigga that comes around like you uppity and better than other goddamn black people. Nigga, you ain't shit. Even if you are shit, you don't come around other black people and act all hardy-tardy, old snooty motherfucker looking over his nose.
Let me ask you a question.
I can't stand that, man.
I understand that. Let me ask you a question, Al.
Holding his tea and shit with his pinky and shit.
Right.
I can't stand them kind of niggas.
Let me ask you a question, Al.
Yeah, I'm
That
glad
night-
you actually brought that up. I mean, I wasn't intended to go there,
Right.
but that motherfucker was dead wrong.
Yeah, he was dead wrong, and I'm here to goddamn back you up because I wasn't doing your security at the time. He would have never said no shit like that because you know there's two comedians. One who said something on stage, and I come to him and told him, if you ever say that again, that your family might be doing some crime. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. And he went out and hired Tiny, because I'm going to put the name out there. Because, just like I say, brother, I was taught by a master. You know what I mean? And I don't give a damn about your guns and none of that other stuff, because if I'm going to go down fighting. But you know the comedian I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And we went out there and hired Tiny because he was so scared what I was about to do. But he never went on stage again and mentioned Louis Farrakhan out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing about it,
so you know these kind of brothers.
You cleared up what you did, and you got them. You about to fuck up somebody for disrespecting Louis Farrakhan,
right?
And motherfuckers did shit. They will do that. Malcolm found that out, about trying to disrespect Elijah Muhammad. When you have, no matter what I don't even fuck with that shit. There's a lot of things I don't like that Farrakhan does and says, but I ain't gonna come up here and say nothing about it.
That man.
Huh?
That shit wasn't about that, man. That shit was about niggas being jealous, man.
Of what part?
Niggas killing Malcolm X, man. That's fucking niggas jealousy, man. And niggas having fear of a motherfucker being smart around them and shit.
Can I ask you a
niggas
question?
being enlightened and shit. That's what that shit is.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Then what would you say about him being poisoned in the UK?
What about it? Somebody
his brothers that strong? Wait a minute, listen. His brothers was that international that they could have poisoned him in UK?
I'm not sure. I would doubt that.
Okay, so if you doubt that, and if you doubt that, let me ask you another question. We have a word that we call snitches and all kind of other stuff.
All that old shit.
It's a policy of the community. Yeah. So I'm asking you, if you are in an organization, and even though your mom and your dad at one time or another had a discussion, and then they came in that discussion and they said, we're totally opposite of this discussion. At the time, they might get angry and mad at each other. At that point, that everything that other parents stand for, the other parent is totally against, because they are, at that point, they are angry with each other. So what I'm trying to say, when it comes down to Malcolm, think about his history. After the Malcolm left the Nation of Islam, in which I am a brother who was 20 years in the Nation of Islam, after he left the Nation of Islam, he could not gather more than 50 people.
Yeah, the fact that he could walk.
So how do you be so smart? He was not like Dr. Khalid. Khalid can put a arena together. Yeah. But Malcolm could not even get 50 people together, even in the continent of Africa.
Yeah, and
What does that mean?
What I'm trying to say is he was no threat.
Nobody should have been.
He was no threat. You got to understand. He was at this point.
What I hear
Whoa, he was a threat to the ideology.
But what I hear him saying,
he was a threat to the game, man.
Yeah, but what I hear him saying,
nobody want to challenge the game. Nobody want to challenge this whole thing about religion, man, and what it does to people and how it controls people, man. The good ones and the bad ones. Yeah. So anybody that questions that shit, man, is like a threat to the whole game, man.
Yeah, when you look at
but is it a symptom?
No, but what you said, no, he's talking about Malcolm and his
but I'm just saying,
the speeches that
I'm just saying the killing. He brought up the killing. I'm just talking about the killing, bro. Dude, that's some fucking jealous.
But it was a
shit,
symptom.
Man.
But the brothers they did.
But
I'm just saying the brothers they wait. The brothers they did prosecute. They was already ousted out of the nation. Let me just put it in this way. If you are in any kind of organization, the Crip, the Bloods, or whatever organization it is, even you might be an ex-member, and if it's something go down, wait, and you so heartfelt, because you know we are, when it comes to us, we are totally emotional. Yeah. And so I'm just saying, if you got ties with that organization, not because you are practicing Muslim, but if you coming down on, number one, it's if you coming down on the movement. Most of these people don't understand.
Look, I'm not judging it though, man. Like, I'm not judging motherfuckers for what they did and why they did it, right? Mm-hmm. I'm only saying let's just not be confused and shit. That it ain't some thing, man. Like, Malcolm was a loser or some shit, and motherfuckers just wanted him out. No, man. It came down to.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say you did.
Okay.
I didn't say you did. Me and you just met today, so I don't even know your beliefs or philosophies on nothing. We just met today. But I'm saying people want to paint a picture about Malcolm that's false, man.
Well, when we paint the picture that is real.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When we paint the picture, when we paint the picture, when we paint the picture, when we go by the actual facts.
Yeah, but I understand where both of you coming from. You in the history of it. Well, like I said, I go back and listen to I'm just saying the speeches he put before he broke with the nation. The shit that motherfucker said, man, is still powerful to this day.
It is.
So, let me ask you another question.
All in my
let me ask you another question. Mm-hmm. The man who trains you.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Okay, the man who trains you, everybody comes before him and after him go sound alike. So you can go to Malcolm's speech and you can listen to it from Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. You can go to Malcolm's speech, you can listen to the same as Louis Farrakhan. Mm-hmm. And if you can go to Malcolm's speech and you can listen to, even though you might say his grammar, because that was the scars of Elijah Muhammad.
He's more charismatic.
Right.
And what I'm going to say about that, we're going to move on, is what I'm saying is, his shit was right as far as what he spoke, but I'd be the first one to tell anybody. I've always said, motherfucker, when you went out into the white media talking about, even if he had multiple children, motherfucker, you don't do nothing like that.
Most certainly.
You don't do nothing like that.
You don't turn on the team.
Nah.
You don't turn on the team.
Well, that's just good old snitching right there. Right.
That's what I'm talking about. You don't turn on the team.
Don't call it something new, motherfucker.
He had no business saying nothing about what that man did.
True.
And since we're moving so fast, Al, the paper I passed out, your brothers.
Okay.
And I heard the brother Michael and the Miller said that bullshit. And so I want to get into it because we don't have that much positive news in our community. And what I want to talk about is Brother Umar Johnson, because before he made his announcement on the 2nd of the 9th, 2019, brothers and sisters had been going on the internet talking about he ripped them off. He was going all around the damn world. He was dealing with prostitutes and all that kind of, and this is what I'm just saying, man. When it comes to us, we have so hard a time, all the way from Black Wall Street all the way up to now, to do anything for our people. And so why, when a brother who's doing the same thing that Marcus Garvey School was doing on Slauson, that we put him through the ringer, we question him on everything, but we don't question anybody else on anything.
Who started that school over there? Do you know?
Brother Umar Johnson.
No, we talking about Marcus Garvey. I know the guy that did that. I forgot, can't bring his name up, but I know exactly who did it.
Well, let me just say this, right? It's not a challenge, because I don't know who it is either, right? My point about it is that motherfucker didn't care, man. He just got to business, got to work, man, and started a school, opened that shit up, and started making a difference. This nigga, man, to me, is like talks too much, man. Just do the work, man. Stop all that hooping and hollering and taking the... See, what he's doing, man, is taking the pathway and the approach that preachers take and shit to connect with our people, man.
Exactly.
We don't need that shit, bro. Just do the fucking school, man. Save some lives, man. That's all I give a fuck about. Dude that started the Garvey school, I don't even know his name, man.
Okay, let me ask you another question. In this day and time, then we are always into entertainment. We're always into speeches.
That's right.
We're always into a lot of other different things. And it takes a lot to motivate you. Les Brown will tell you, one of the most positive brothers.
Right.
Al turned me on to a book. How
you Think and Grow Rich?
Thinking and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
By Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
All right. You take Les Brown, who have studied under them guidelines, and understand when it comes to people. And I'm gonna say this, and Mike, you might disagree with me.
That's all right.
99.5% of us in America as being African who went through this traumatic experience as being kidnapped and brought to this country, we are totally mentally ill.
They said that from coming out of slavery. But what they said, after coming, the way them motherfuckers just freed us, man, and just set us out there, we should have been going through some type of psychological treatment way back then, and not them. When you go through something that traumatic, man, you can't just turn no motherfucker loose, goddamn, and say, well, go out there and goddamn fend for your damn self.
Let's size it up to women. When a woman goes to
it's like this damn cat running around here, or animal or dog you got. If that's all you know, man, I don't want to be here, but this is the best I can do.
Right, just like women. You go through a traumatic experience as abuse. And then one of the things usually happen is they started all these organizations. It started in the 80s, in the late 80s, where they had all these female talk shows who feminized the male child and brought it all the way back around to a circle to clear up they traumatized as being an abusive person in a relationship. They started all these organizations and all these women's centers and everything else. So they understand once you go through a traumatic experience, you going to need some therapy. You going to need some help. But they turned us loose and say, go for yourself. Yeah. Now, that gets me back to what we really should be talking about, because we should be uplifting the experience of the black experience in this country. Let's go back to the Drew Scott versus Sanford. Right. Now, I don't know if you brothers know, is that was a decision was done in 1857. Yeah. That's when it was slavery in certain states in America. Mm-hmm. And once his master died, he decided to purchase his own family. And so what happened is they disregarded him, his owner at that time, because we consider it as property, decided that he was just out of his damn mind. So he took him to court. Matter of fact, there was over 300 cases in the federal system at that time. But it brought to the Supreme Court. Now, what we don't understand about the Supreme Court, even when they make a decision, not even Congress can supersede their decision. Now, we're talking about the 14th and the 15th Amendment about we have the right to vote and all that. But it don't supersede the decision of the Drew Scott versus Sanford. Because Drew Scott versus Sanford says no African or black man has the right over any able rights over a white man
can respect.
And that can never be underturned unless the Supreme Court overturn it.
Yeah.
And so we still living under that, and we don't understand why brothers can be shot down in the street.
It's in writing.
Because 50% of this nation believes that law still stands to the day. So nothing ever going to change for us till we understand we can go to vote and all that other stuff, but the Supreme Court has showed their strength by putting a president in the office, Bush, over Gore, showing you that nothing in Congress or the senator ever do. And when you go out there and vote, it don't matter.
Fucking like with Trump with Hillary. They keep talking about we should have got out and vote. Hillary actually beat that motherfucker by 5 million votes in the popular vote, and they still said, bitch, based on the Electoral College,
we don't want you.
Exactly.
We don't want your ass, and I'm glad.
I'm glad they didn't want to. I'm telling you, voting anybody. As I said this, we talked about this last night, man. your vote is nothing but it's like a masturbation. If you ain't got no money to put behind your motherfucking vote, man, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck whether you stood in line and checked the X or a box or whatever for their name. I done seen Eazy-E sitting in the White House with George Bush Sr. You know why? He gave him $50,000. Any of these motherfucking rich ass, if you got money, you can get shit done. That's just politics. If you pay these motherfuckers, they would do something to you. Or we do something for you. All we do is talk about, well, I voted for you. Okay. But what did you pay me to do? Bill Clinton said niggas didn't ask me for nothing but ceremonious shit and symbolism. Name a street after Martin Luther King. Give us a holiday. But what did you put in writing? Even you did this with 3 motherfucking things on there. What have you motherfuckers put in writing and brought us to say, let's do this?
Right.
Obama
niggas ain't even said no to nothing.
Let me ask you, Mike, because I heard you discuss this last night on the Last Light show.
Oh, shit.
And I wanted to bring this up to your attention. Right. Have you ever heard of a brother called Dr. Claude Anderson?
Yes.
Claude Anderson?
Claude Anderson.
Are you saying Carl?
Claude Anderson. Motherfucker that wrote Power Economics and Black White Wealth, Black Labor.
No, man.
Okay, well, this brother wrote I think a 9-page letter, and you can. Reason why I give you information out there as on my cousin's show is I don't want to give you all of it. Because if I give you all of it, it just becomes just like a preacher hooping and hollering, slobbing over a mic, and your ass will never learn because you'll never do no research yourself. And so I'm trying to give you enough information where you can go and research yourself. But Dr. Claude Anderson wrote Obama a 9-page letter, what black people want, because he has one of the biggest organizations, and he have sued the American
he wrote affirmative action.
Affirmative action. This brother was so tight in the administration of government. When he came out, he knows so much insight that he wrote a 9-page letter and told Obama exactly what the black people need. And he did it in a solution. Yeah. Not in a problem, but a solution. And Obama never responded by him. And you know how Obama is responded by him? Obama said that his daughters made him reevaluate homosexuality. Now, I had to ask Obama
He said that?
Yeah. I had to ask Obama, what was it in your daughters that made you reevaluate? Is one of them gay or what? Yeah, or is it what that comedian said? Is Michelle Obama was a transsexual?
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just trying to ask the question: what was it in your family life that says that you changed your whole narrative on homosexuality?
By your children.
Your children. Now, your children come to run your household where you have to change. Now, I need to ask anybody that question.
Well, let me say this, man. I have this issue with my kids because they don't look at that shit like we look at that shit, man. They didn't grow up with the taboos and the misunderstanding and all the whole shit that come along with one being gay or not gay. Mm. Our generation, our age, man, at least I'll speak for myself, I have I've been tainted, man, by the whole experience, man, and it's not some shit that I fuck with. So I have a hard time with this idea of like, was you born that way or did something happen to you and you changed that way, blah, blah. My kids are from this shit. Like, we don't give a fuck. They don't care, man. They don't even want to talk about it.
I ain't got no kids, Mike, but I swear to God, like, Obama got daughters, but I'm telling you, if I had a son, there's no way I'm gonna let you just say, motherfucker, this is the way it is today, Dad.
Dude,
some of my values I want to go in my son. I don't want him looking at no goddamn jacking that got box commercial and see 5 big fat motherfuckers up there dancing and shaking their ass and they selling hamburgers on that. And I'm saying that's just cool. Son, no,
he won't think it's cool.
That's not the way it's supposed to be.
I'm not saying he think it's cool, right? I'm just saying that, like, what you just said is not the way it's supposed to be. That's the shit where they like it's a disconnection, man. They don't have that supposed to be shit with it.
Well,
I'm learning this.
I know you're learning it. Our children can teach us. Let me ask you this question: did you ever play the game where they had a box and you had stars, squares,
Yeah,
and all
all
that.
that, yeah.
And you put them little pieces in, and they will fall in there.
Yeah.
Have you ever played that game?
Yep.
Okay, let's stay away from the spirituality. Let's stay away from the Bible. Let's stay strictly on biology. So when you put a woman and a man together, naked, do that self-explain anything to you?
I'm not confused.
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
do that self-explain anything to you?
I'm not confused.
Because you're not trying to put a star in a hole. You're not trying to still put a star in a block. I mean, let's just stay away from the religion factor of it. Let's just do the biology of it.
Nah.
When you put a woman and a man together, and you see the penis, and you see the vagina, do that explain anything to you?
Exactly.
And if you say you're born that way, then that means you should die that way. So I'm saying to yourself, with a man who decided himself mentally that he wants to take one up the ass, is that the same way he gonna die?
Yeah. Because if it was,
I'm just asking Mike. I want to know.
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm 50 years old, motherfucker. I'm a believer.
Okay. Well, I'm 60. Look. I'm your senior. I'm 60.
You ain't got to prove none of it.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just asking the question.
I grew up
the
with
next
black
question, the last question,
ignorant and
the
shit.
last question. Did we all get messed up? And I'll tell you, I am being a proponent of this. That if you're strong in the backbone, you never have to use your neck bone. So when you're going down and giving a girl aura, you are investing in using the reproduction system with the digestive system. So I don't give a damn if you're a fan. Wait, I understand what I'm just saying.
I understand
but I don't understand.
You don't confuse the reproduction system with the digestive system. Because the digestion system supposed to move things past, the reproduction system supposed to create things.
I understand that. And I know
so
exactly
saying no
where
to
you
oral
go.
sex?
No, what I'm telling you,
that's exactly
what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, that's where you go.
You're going to be a loser tonight.
I understand. Let me tell you this, Mike.
But God's greatest gift, man. Don't you want a taste? Don't you want a little bit?
I understand.
Don't you want a drip on your lip?
I'm telling you, man. I will eat some pussy before I tongue kiss it.
Okay, Mike, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. White girls was treading towards the black man, and her white man was eating her pussy. So why was she coming to the black man? Because his anatomy had nothing to do with eating pussy. His anatomy would give her that thrust that she was looking for. And so let me.
No, but that's just dessert, nigga. That's just like
I understand.
You're gonna only have steak, nigga. You're not gonna have no pie.
You just making your woman more
homemade ice cream.
But you just making your woman more selfish because 95% of all women can't have an orgasm unless you play with her clitoris. So what I'm trying to tell you. The pleasure of making love really supposed to only be for the man. The other shit is just a selfish reason. I know you won't agree with that, but the other, what do an orgasm of a woman produce?
Nothing.
Other than a selfish
but
pleasure.
Ours produces a child.
Selfish pleasure. What makes it selfish?
Because it's producing nothing. Anything in life is not producing.
Some shit is just for fun, though.
Okay, but this we've been having too much goddamn fun.
It make you want to do this shit.
We've been having too much goddamn fun. That's why we behind.
If they didn't have orgasms, they wouldn't want to do the shit.
No. Let me tell you something.
They didn't want to do as much as we do.
That's the thing that keep them coming back.
But we changed the rule. If we change the rule, because can you outdo a vibrator? It goes 4,300 RPMs per minute. Can you outdo a dildo?
Yeah, 20-inch dildo.
Can you outdo a dildo?
Huh?
I tell you what. I tell you how I can outdo a dildo.
How?
I in the long run, because that motherfucker will run out of batteries, nigga. And I'll be still moving, nigga. Like,
okay, let's correct one thing. When you're speaking to me, you speak to me as a black man. I don't use the nigga term.
Okay.
That's number one. And number two is... Once a person,
okay, well, I should be slipping out when I talk. I don't even slip out. That's part of my vernacular. So,
but I understand you might be doing it for a endearment, But
I don't
if
do
you
it
don't,
for nothing. It's
okay,
just,
but I'm just saying,
unfortunately-
why are you using words and terms that defeat our progress?
But we use it up there. If he
our
didn't
progress is
directly
not being
call you
defeated
that,
by that
let's-
word.
But why not? Why not?
It's not being defeated.
Well,
by
why
that,
not?
bro.
Why didn't the
because
Jews
I
don't
don't-
use? Why did Jews
That's for
don't
them.
use kites?
That's for
I
them
don't
to
think
decide.
if he didn't
That's
directly
for them
say
to
it to you,
decide.
because that's going to come out.
But I understand all
I
that.
see you got that word on there.
That's right. Where did it come from?
I don't
Came
know.
from the
but
Niger
I
River.
know that.
No. Where did it come? I'm asking Mike. Where did it come from?
It came from the Niger River.
Now, you think that because that's where your intelligence have took you from your research. But let's go further
doesn't
back in
matter,
that.
though.
But I know you say it don't matter, but things don't never matter when a person saying, look, listen to this.
Is this the biggest thing that's holding
Okay.
black people back
No,
right now? Can we
one
talk
of
about
the
that?
biggest things-
No, but what is the biggest?
One of the biggest
See if
things.
we can agree on the
you all
biggest.
got to come back right with me. I got like 3 minutes left.
Oh,
so
we got more. We having a good discussion, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I already knew starting with y'all I was going to need 2 or 3 hours tonight, but I
Okay.
ain't got it.
We'll come
Y'all
back and
definitely
we'll
come
pick
back.
up on that right there. And I'm going to be, I guarantee you, Mike, when I finish, I can't change your mind, but I give you so much
Oh,
information.
no, I can learn from him. I can learn some new
information
shit.
on
I
it.
can learn, but
Right.
you're gonna have
because
to,
in South
you're gonna have
Africa,
to be real deep.
Wait a minute,
motherfucker.
in South
You're gonna
Africa,
have to-
if you use a slur, you will get jail time and a fine. Why is it not like that in
What?
America?
So what? We shouldn't even have jails.
Well, I go with that.
Jail
Man,
is some
let's
shit
wrap it up,
motherfuckers
man.
made
Tell
up.
them
We
what
should
to
never
do.
have jail.
Tell
A
them
person
where to
doesn't
find
belong
you
in a
at.
cage.
No, they don't. Tell them where they can find
Somebody
you at,
raped
man.
your sister.
I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
Okay, but I'm saying,
Bingo.
okay. Mother,
Nigga, I don't care about no cage, man. A bird should fly, man, high, man, through the universe.
even
man.
when his dick contaminated and no mess with somebody in
A
your
bird
family.
with a contaminated dick?
I don't even
No, I'm
know
talking about somebody contaminated you and your family.
Hey, man.
The light skinned, dark skinned brother. That's where it come from. White man contaminated with black pussy.
What can we do now, though?
You live it
Now
out.
you nigga gotta live as a contaminated nigga. Call me OG Little
That's what I'm saying.
Contam, nigga.
That's what I
Y'all
mean.
wrap it up,
That's what I
man.
mean. Al Chocolate. And you sunrise.
No.
He still got the dirty red.
No, you chocolate. This nigga's fudge right
Okay,
here.
fudge, you don't have a shadow. Al don't have a shadow.
You got you beat by dark chocolate.
Anyway,
All right,
man, wrap
I'm
it
sorry,
up
man.
by
I'm Mike
telling
Boogie,
everybody.
man. Find me on all my shit, man.
Yeah,
This is the way we do it.
always, man.
Al,
Yeah.
no, this is the way we do it.
Yeah. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Go ahead, Mike.
I got like less than a minute.
Yeah,
So wrap it
man.
up
I'm at
quickly.
King Mike Boogie, man, on all my stuff, man. Follow me, man. My show, Mike Robertson Boulevard, on Tuesday nights, man. Check in on that shit too, man. Love y'all.
All right.
All right, Mike Robertson, I would like to get on your show and we can carry this discussion a lot further. My name is Jay Speed.
I be saying nigga a lot,
My name
though.
is Jay Speed, but my original name, my legal name is Askil Muhammad. And I take that in pride.
You know your name, Roosevelt Johnson, man.
Oh, yeah, with a chicken in his mouth. With a goddamn 2 pieces in his mouth. Church's 2 pieces in his mouth.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
All right,
That's it.
man.
Go
Thank
ahead,
y'all
Al.
for tuning in for another week here. You can catch me on at Al Toomer on all this goddamn social media bullshit. It's just Al Toomer, the number 2 at, and you can find me. And don't send me no bullshit. Don't send me no food. I get started motherfuckers sending you food and shit. You say, yes, it's a nice meal, but can I eat any of this? So don't send me no food, motherfucker, if I can't eat none of it. Motherfuckers sending dumb shit on social media and all that type of shit.
I'm with you on
I
that.
had goddamn fucking just going up out of here. But thank y'all. And another week, we'll be back next week at Wednesday, 6:30, right here at Morris Media. Pour this, take us up out of here.
Power.
Poetic beats. When you see me, you can see it. California. When you see me, you can see it. California.
California beaches, California breezes, California bitches. I California need it. Sun up, sun down, all smiles, no frowns. Cali life is like a circus, minus the clowns. I keep the top down, swag stays turning. There's so much heat, the week get burned.